Hello, and welcome to episode 25 of CGN Live. Thank you for joining me. Let me get my second screen set up here. If you're in the chat, make sure you say hello. Should I get that sound turned off on that screen? Let me go here. All right. We got one person chiming in so far. James Abel, how's the weather? Well, I'm over here in the Midwest, and actually, we're getting a lot of the smoke from the Canada fires, which hopefully there's nobody affected by that. Here in the chat, definitely thoughts go out to you. But we're getting a lot of the smoke coming in from the fires from Canada, so the air quality, I guess, is really bad and concerning. I think the other day someone said if you spend time outside, it's like the equivalent of smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day. I don't know. I'm not a scientist, but it sounds really bad. But the skies are very weird too. They're very smoky out there as well. It's kind of weird that it came all the way down from Canada. I'm a couple states below the border there. But other than that, it's nice out, I guess. It's not super hot or anything like that. Yeah, if you're in the chat, drop a line. Let me know how you guys are doing. But this is CGN Live, the weekly YouTube show for cheapgraphicnovels.com, where I'm the host. I'm Taylor of Taylor Talks Comics. And we go over all of the great comic book and graphic novels that are coming out the following week. So over at cheapgraphicnovels.com, we will have all the books we talk about on sale today. They will be on sale Monday evening. Make sure you follow us on social media at Twitter and Instagram at cheapgn is our handles over there. Our handles over there. And then all over on Facebook, if you just search for Cheap Graphic Novels, you can find our page there. Every Monday, Max, the guy that runs the show over at CGN, whenever he has the books ready to go, ready to be purchased by you guys, he sends me a text. I have the image and the verbiage and all that stuff ready to go, just waiting for that text from Max. And then I post it immediately on all of our social media to let you know it is time to buy your books that you've been waiting on. We also have monthly shows we do over the new catalogs, which the July catalog, the July pre-order catalog, just dropped. It is now live on cheapgraphicnovels.com. So a couple things with that. It is the July pre-order catalog. That just means it's the pre-order catalog for next month. The books that are in the catalog are coming out throughout the rest of the year, and some even early next year. It's just how the business is. It's all the publishers put in their solicitations for the catalogs months in advance, so they know how many books they need to print. And then those solicitations come to us, and we're able to do pre-orders. The way the pre-orders work is we take the CGN will take the money right away, which is great for you because then you paid for it. All you have to do is wait for the book to show up on your doorstep, and you can pre-order any of the books that are there. And we will have a special episode over the pre-order catalog where I go through the entire catalog. That's the monthly episode we do. That will be, stay tuned on our social media. I don't know which day that'll happen exactly yet, but we will have a newsletter coming out for the catalog. So that's a new thing we've been doing too. We have weekly newsletters, which show off the top 5 books plus the Taylor Talks Comics official pick of the week. Those come out every week for the weekly releases. But then every month, just like the YouTube show, we do a monthly newsletter, and I go over my top 5 picks for the month of July's pre-order catalog, including, and then the 6th one, which is the Taylor Talks Comics pick of the month, I guess. And that newsletter will be dropping later this week. It's already done. We have to find the best time to release that to you guys. So make sure you subscribe to the newsletter as well. So in the chat, I like to talk to you guys. It's one of my favorite parts of the show. So why don't we talk about what you've been reading lately? What comic books you've read lately? Let's get that conversation going as I pull up the screen for next week's releases. Yeah, so if you're in the chat, say hello. Let me know what comic you've read lately. I got the screen pulled up. Let me change it to this version. There we go. And as you can see here, scrolling across the top of the screen, you'll see the Nick and Dent sale live, and then the July pre-order catalog. I'll just click on it to show you what it looks like real quick. Scroll down here, some little highlights, if you will. So this is where all the books are going to be pre-ordered. So this one comes out in October. This one comes out November, October again. So later this year. This one comes out February of next year. So there won't be releases that are coming out. Hold on just a moment. So that's the July pre-order catalog. Let me go back out to the main page here. If you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you'll see where you can join our newsletter today. It's where you can type in your email address and subscribe to our weekly newsletter. And then you'll get a confirmation email, which you'll need to click on that confirmation link inside. That confirmation email might show up in your spam folder, so be leery of that. But make sure you confirm that. And you'll get all our newsletters, which you want to do also not just for the weekly newsletter or the monthly newsletter, but anytime we have sales going on, we'll do like an email blast where we send that out as well if you're part of that email list. So if we have any sales going on, you don't want to miss out on that. Oh, geez. Sorry about that. I thought I hit the mute button and then it didn't go, so I cleared my throat right into the microphone. Space Monkey, hello. How are you doing, my man? Thanks for joining me. All right, so then I'm going to click on this week's new releases. I'm just going to show you next week, which is right there. You can see the Marvel Zombies image there. And then you can see the current week we're on and then the previous 4 weeks. So if you missed a week, you can always go back. If you missed one of the last 6 weeks, I guess, go back and check those out. You want to be the producer? I got a producer over here. So up first, we are going to, again, if you're in the chat, say hello and tell me what comic books you've been reading lately. Up first, we have a big reprint. This is the Marvel Zomnibus, which I love that they call it that, and I love that on the spine they even changed where it says Marvel Omnibus. They changed it to Zomnibus on there. It's really cool. They did that for the Jack Kirby Monster Bus. They changed it on the spine for that one, and I hope when we get the ROM Omnibus, they'll change it to Romnibus. Which is in the pre-order catalog, by the way, the first volume of the Romnibus. Right here, we have Marvel Zomnibus. This is technically a volume 1. It doesn't say that on there, but there is another Marvel Zomnibus coming out, which has all those follow-up stories. But this has writing by Robert Kirkman, famous for probably the most famous zombie comic of our generation, The Walking Dead. And then artwork by Sean Phillips and more. As you can see, the contents here, I'm not going to read it off because there's a lot of names there, but it includes all the good stuff of the first Marvel Zombies series, including Ultimate Fantastic Four 21 through 23, which is where the story started. But this will be $74.99. This cover is your direct market cover. The direct market variant is an exclusive to the direct market, as you can imagine. And the direct market, that just means comic book shops. So places like CGN is a comic book shop, or your local comic book shop down the road. And then the standard edition cover, which we'll look at now, is going to be available everywhere else, including the direct market, but also places like Amazon or Barnes & Noble. But here at CGN, we have both versions for you. And they're both done by Suidam. I don't know how to pronounce that. I probably butchered that. But two great covers. The first one is obviously an homage to Amazing Fantasy 15, but it's like a zombie version of it. And then the other one is a collection of heroes, which I don't know if is that an homage to another cover? I'm not familiar with that. Let me know in the comments. But anyways, these will be available on July 3rd, I guess. Is that Monday, July 3rd? And they'll be $74.99 each, 40% off the cover price. Up next, we have the complete world famous Creatures hardcover. I think we have a soft cover version too. Let me see. Yes, there's a soft cover version with a different cover. But it says Monster Kids Rejoice. This is from Fantico Enterprises. It'll be $47.95 if you order through CGN. That's 20% off. But this includes issues 1 through 4 of the magazine called Creatures. World Famous Creatures magazine. It was put together cheaply and quickly to cash in on the popularity of Famous Monsters #1. The title lasted just 4 issues, so this includes the entire run of the magazine, 2 in 1958 and 2 in 1959. are much sought after by monster magazine collectors. So it was the competitor to Famous Monsters number one, Famous Monsters of Movie Land, Famous Monsters. What was the title of that magazine? I'm drawing a blank here. But this is the hardcover version. Let's go ahead and scroll down to the softcover version with a different cover. It's this one right here. And this one will be $31.95, also 20% off. It's a little bit cheaper. It has the same contents, but different covers, it looks like. So if you want the hardcover version, it'll be about $16 more, or you get the softcover version, the more affordable format. And then we have Incorruptible by Mark Waid in the Irredeemable Omnibus softcover. So let's go over Irredeemable first, because this is like the main series that kicked it off. This is by Boom Studios. Mark Waid is the writer, and Peter Krause, I think, is the main writer or artist. Yeah, Peter Krause. And this includes Irredeemable 1 through 37, the Irredeemable Special number 1, and Incorruptible 25 and 26, which I think is like a crossover. This is the paperback omnibus. This is done. My image isn't showing up here, so apologize for that. It's done as a standard size. There it is, paperback, and it's an incredible superhero story. The story's been done a million times, but it's like, what if Superman went bad kind of thing. But the story itself, like, Mark Waid is one of the best like modern superhero writers. I think Mark Waid and Kurt Busiek are both like historians of the comic book medium, especially superhero comic books. And they're two writers that I would trust any sort of superhero comic either of them write. I trust that it's going to be great. So they're kind of I always pair them together in that fashion. I just read this story though for the first time last year, and it really is great. Like, and the ending was like one of the best endings of a comic book I've read in years. Like, it just ended on such a great note. But yeah, and this is coming back into print. This came out because the version I read was the paperback omnibus, so that's coming back into print. But this is the Incorruptible complete trade paperback. So they're not calling it an omnibus, but it does include 32 issues. So it's going to be about the same thickness of the Irredeemable one. But this is like the spinoff series, and it focuses around the supervillain Max Damage. But it's done by Mark Waid as the writer, but it's also the artwork is by Jean Diaz and Marcio Takara are the artists. Also put out by Boom Studios, and that'll be $37.49. So both of those will be $37.49 each, 25% off the cover price. Then we have Blade of the Immortal Deluxe Edition Volume 9. This is not the last volume. I think Volume 10 might be the last volume. So this might be the penultimate volume. Let me know in the comments how many volumes this would run. I'm not super familiar with the series. Oh, it does say, okay, there it is. The ferocious final battle in this penultimate omnibus. There we go. So this is the second to last volume. Volume 10 will conclude the series. These are the nice deluxe hardcovers put out by Dark Horse Comics. And we just find out the new series they're going to be doing in this format, because they've done Berserk, they've done Blade of the Immortal, and Hellsing. Those manga have all been collected in these nice oversized deluxe hardcovers. The next series they're doing is Trigun, so that'll be cool to see. This will be $34.99 if you order through CGN. Then we have Mystic Debris. This came out. This was on the list last week, but I'm assuming it got pushed back, and it's going to be on next week is when it'll be out. But this is $31.99, put out by Fantagraphics, and it's their Fantagraphics Underground imprint, or FU for short. That is their imprint that they do like low print runs and maybe like special projects, if you will. And this is the debut graphic novel by Justin Graydon. And it sounds really awesome, but also, since they do small print runs on the Fantagraphics Underground books, they don't always reprint those. They actually very rarely reprint those. So if it says Fantagraphics Underground and something that you might want to pick it up. You don't want to wait too long on those. But this one looks really cool. Then we've got, I did that, the complete world famous creatures softcover. Popeye Variations, not your Pappy's Comics, an art book by Clover Press. I think this is an art book that has all different interpretations and variations of the Popeye character by a bunch of different artists. It doesn't say which artists are included, but it says the scores of artists over the years with a special focus on the Popeyes Cartoon Club by King Features Syndicate. Also included are highlights from the National Cartoonist Society celebration of Popeye's 90th year and a collection of rare covers. So cool art book. That'll be $29.99 if you order through CGN next week. This is a big one. So this is Spider-Man Blue Gallery Edition. And there's two different covers for this. So Marvel's been doing these gallery editions, which are oversized. They're bigger than the trim size is bigger than an Omnibus. They're actually a little bit bigger than the DC Absolutes even. If you have a K-Lax shelf, they don't quite slide into that shelf unless you really jam it in there. Oh, okay. Unless you really jam it in there, it won't really fit on your shelf, on K-Lax shelf. But either way, it's a great presentation. They've done a great job with these. They've done like Adam Warlock by Starlin. They've done, I think they did Daredevil Born Again by Mazzucchelli. Did that one get gallery edition already? I can't remember. Obviously, I don't have that one. They did the wedding album for Spider-Man and Mary Jane. Weapon X, which I think is the best one they've done. So this is getting two covers, which they haven't done yet, but they were doing. So the great news is they're doing a gallery edition for all four of the color series by Loeb and Sale. They did Spider-Man Blue, Daredevil Yellow, Captain America White, and Hulk Gray were the four series that they did together. They're the team that did the amazing Batman Long Halloween and Dark Victory and Haunted Night. The two of them would just make magic together. Just awesome comics. So these gallery editions will all have two different covers to them. And the first one is the direct market variant. This is artwork by Tim Sale, but Tim Sale, we sadly lost him last year. He passed away, but this is artwork that I don't think has ever been used commercially. I think is where they got this cover from. But they'll both be $29.99 for whichever cover you choose. And this is the other one, which this cover has been used. And the spines are even different. Nearmake Edition, Omar over there did a overview of this and showed off all the artwork. And I think even on Nearmake Edition's social media, which I run, so I should know this. I think we even showed the covers there too, because the spines are different. The first one, the DM variant, has a blue spine, and the spine on the other one is yellow. But don't fret, it doesn't say Spider-Man Blue on the book. It just says Spider-Man by Loeb and Sale. So it's not like you're going to have a yellow book that says Spider-Man Blue, which would be kind of odd. I think they're all that's how they're labeling each of these. It's just Spider-Man by Loeb and Sale, Captain America by Loeb and Sale. They're not using the color names in the titles, which is kind of weird. But either of those will be $29.99. Then we have, here we go. Born Again coming out later this year or early next. Okay, that's right. I thought, so which, did they do it's the Daredevil by Sienkiewicz that they did? Maybe it's that one that they did in a gallery edition already. I know they did a Daredevil one because before, and then they have Daredevil Yellow coming out, Daredevil Born Again, which is Space Monkey, what he's talking about. And then they also have the Guardian story by Kevin Smith and Joe Quesada. I forget the name of that story. They're doing that one in a gallery edition as well. So lots of Daredevil gallery editions coming out. Up next, we have Deadpool Epic Collection Dead Reckoning. This is the Joe Kelly run, and this includes Daredevil, or sorry, did I say Daredevil? Deadpool Dead Reckoning. It's supposed to be Deadpool. I don't know what I said. It's $26.99, but includes Deadpool 0 and I said Daredevil. Okay, I meant Deadpool. In issues 21 through 33. I think this is the volume 4 of the Epic Collections, if I remember correctly, because I think volume 3 is coming out a little bit later. But regardless, when they do come out, we'll have the first 4 volumes of the Deadpool Epic Collections. Then we have Disney Afternoon Adventures Volume 3, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. This is a really, really cool book. This is the 3rd volume of the series. These are collecting the Disney Afternoon Adventures comics that were originally, if you're a kid of the 90s, you'll remember these, in the grocery store, in the checkout line by all the bubble gum and all that stuff, candy bars. They'd have these Disney digests that were Disney Adventures. And it's like a magazine that collected like articles and stuff about the what was happening on Disney Afternoon Adventures, but also comics. So Fantagraphics is now being putting these out in these hardcover formats, which are really beautiful. And even though it says Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers, that's the main story in this hardcover. So this is the third volume. The first one was Darkwing Duck. The second volume was DuckTales, maybe? I can't remember what the second volume was. And then the third volume has Chip and Dale on the cover, but inside they have comics from all of those different characters. So you'll see like even Gummy Bears and Scrooge McDuck, Launchpad. You'll see DuckTales in there. You'll see Darkwing Duck, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. What's the other? I'm trying to think of the cat. What was his name? Bonkers. Bonkers is in there as well. So if you're a kid in the 90s, this might be something you want to pick up. That'll be $22.99. Then we're getting an essential book from 2000 AD. They've been doing this for Judge Dredd. Now we're getting Judge Anderson essential volumes, which I don't think this is the first one. I think they did at least one other Judge Anderson essential. This will be Judge Anderson Shambhala trade paperback. There's like magazine-sized trade paperbacks that include just the essential stories. So it's kind of like they're collecting these stories in different formats. They have the what are they called? The complete case files. That's what they are, where they collect every single story in sequential order in these thick trade paperbacks. But then they've been doing these essentials, which are just like the greatest hits. It's a little bit different ways to collect them, however you want to do that. We have Black Hammer, The World of Black Hammer Omnibus trade paperback Omnibus Volume 1. So Black Hammer is an incredible series. I love it. It's by Jeff Lemire and Dean Ormston, who did the main series of Black Hammer. And then they did all these spinoffs, where Jeff Lemire did the spinoffs with other artists. The ones included in here are David Rubin and Tyler Crook. Yeah. Or it says Max Fiumra. Who's the artist on this one? Okay, regardless, the spinoffs kind of flesh out the universe of Black Hammer a little bit more. So this is the first World of. So the way they're going to do this is exactly like they did the library editions, where it'll say Black Hammer Omnibus Volume 1. That includes the main series. Any ones that say the World of are collecting the spinoffs. But these are paperback omnibuses, so they're thicker versions of this previously released content. This will be $20.99. And this one includes the Sherlock Frankenstein and Legion of Evil series, as well as the Dr. Andromeda in the Kingdom of Lost Tomorrows series, which was originally called Dr. Star. Fun fact, but there was a rights issue, so they changed the name to Dr. Andromeda. But those two miniseries will be collected in this paperback omnibus. $20.99. Then we have Monstrous. We're getting two different releases for this, one in hardcover and one in softcover. It's by First Second Books. Sarah Meyer is the writer and artist. The hardcover version will be $19.49. It says it's a poignant young adult graphic memoir about a Korean American girl who uses fandom and art making to overcome racist bullying. So it's perfect for fans of American-born Chinese and Almost American Girl. So it's a memoir graphic novel by Sarah Meyer. And the softcover version, where is it? Down here. Will be $13.49 if you want the softcover version. So different formats for different folks. Up next, we have Magic the Gathering, Soul and Stone. This is by Boom Studios, and it's a deluxe hardcover. It'll be $18.74. Experience two standalone tales, each spotlighting a beloved Magic the Gathering character. So if you're into Magic the Gathering and you want to read some comics based on the card game, here you go. That'll be $18.74. Then we have a standard size hardcover from DC Comics. This one will be Batman versus Robin. This is written by Mark Waid. Artwork by Mahmoud Asrar. I'm sorry, I really butchered that. There'll be $17.99. It's standard size hardcover and collects the entire series of Batman versus Robin. $17.99. Did I say that? Then we have Pink Lemonade. This is the book I want everybody to focus in on. You have to buy this book. If you're putting an order in through CGN next week, please buy this book. This book is amazing. It's by Nick Cagnetti. He's a cartoonist that I think everyone should have their eyes on right now. His artwork is just amazing and fun and full of color, as well as this series. He's the writer and artist on it. So everyone focus their attention on this book. This includes the entire series of Pink Lemonade 1 through 6 in one complete volume. And it is a trade paperback by Oni Press. Nick Cagnetti originally published the first 2 issues with, I think it was It's Alive Publishing. And then he moved publishers while working on the next issues. And he finally landed with Oni Press. And this book is so much fun. It's so full of color. The artwork and the layouts are all amazing. Like Nick Cagnetti is definitely a cartoonist to have on your radar. This is his first big series that he's done. But I promise you're going to be hearing this name in the next few years as a big time cartoonist. So everyone, if you want to try out a new series, I implore you to give this one a shot. It's $17.49 through CGN next week. Includes all 6 issues. But here's the synopsis. I'll read it for you. Mysterious past, colorful costume, altruistic outlook, zippy motorcycle, and one very overactive imagination. Meet Pink Lemonade, the new hero on the scene. She dreams of doing big things, but ultimately, she'll settle for just helping where she can. But when Pink Lemonade accidentally crashes onto the set of the next Rex Radical blockbuster, she'll take an unexpected leap into the spotlight, and will soon find herself confronted by a series of increasingly threatening doppelgangers, extraterrestrial fanboys, and nefarious corporate machinations. So it's super fun. The character of Pink Lemonade, like in the first issue, she doesn't remember anything, but she has like this cool motorcycle and kind of these powers and whatnot. And then as she's finding her way in the world, she meets some friends and whatnot and finds some bad guys. But it's fun to see her kind of unlock the mystery of her memory, as well as just having her have this like overly optimistic outlook on life and trust in people and that kind of thing. So it's a really beautiful series. It's highly recommend it. I can't recommend it enough. And so yes, Pink Lemonade, try that one out. Hellboy, Young Hellboy, Assault on Castle Death hardcover. This will be $17.49. How long was this series? Because I think this is a slimmer hardcover. Yeah, it collects the 4-issue miniseries. So it's gonna be one of those slim hardcovers. But it's the Young Hellboy Adventures, which is what Mike Mignola has been writing a lot lately. So you want to pick that up if you're a Hellboy fan. American Gods, Volume 2, My Ainsel. Trade paperback by Neil Gaiman. This will be $17.49 and includes issues 1 through 9 of that series. We'll check it out. Always good with different recommendations. Yes, please. And let me know what you think. I really do think Nick Cagnetti is going to be a highly sought after artist in just a few years. Masquerade, Volume 1 hardcover. This is written by Kevin Smith. This is Dark Horse Comics, so this is coming out in Kevin Smith's new imprint he has with Dark Horse, and it collects the 4-issue miniseries. And then we have Merry-Go-Round, trade paperback. This is put out by Dark Horse. The writer is Sergio Rossi, and the artist is Agnesi Innocente. This will be $13.99. Life as a teenager is full of challenges and learning moments, from love triangles to missed appointments and beyond. Merry-Go-Round features the stories of a group of young people just trying to get through their day-to-day life, all while romance and simply growing up are throwing roadblocks along the way. So it's based on the Arthur Schnitzler play of the same name. So check that out if you want. It's $13.99. We have Night of the Ghoul trade paperback. This one is put out by Dark Horse. The writer is Scott Snyder, and the artist is Francesco Francavilla, which is an amazing artist. I didn't even know the series existed. This must be a new series, though. I love Francesca Francavilla's art. I hope I pronounced that right. A dazzling work of horror intercutting between the present-day narrative and the story of a lost horror film. Filmmaker T.F. Merritt has spent decades confined in a retirement facility which he claims is ran by the Order of the Fly, a cult organization from his very own movie. So check that out. Includes, I think, the entire series, but that'll be $13.99. Night of the Ghoul. Then we have Rock Gods of Jackson, Tennessee, trade paperback. This is put out by Dark Horse Comics as well. Raffer Roberts is the writer, and Mike Norton is the artist. I love the cover there. It's done on like notebook paper. It looks really cool. It's 1989, and Marty Ward, Jackson, Tennessee's #1 juvenile delinquent, never wanted to join the Rock Gods. After all, who wants to play with nerds like Johnny, Lenny, and Doug? But after the high schoolers stumble into the gig of a lifetime, opening for local rock legend Tommy Tungsten, the 4 outcasts must put aside their differences and play together if they want to achieve their dreams. That seems like a cool book. Might have to check that out. And if you guys are familiar with any of these books that I'm obviously unfamiliar with, let me know. Then from Ahoy Comics, we have Billionaire Island, Cult of Dogs by Mark Russell, and the artwork is done by Steve Pugh. It's a new volume of the near-future adventure that satirizes capitalism's endgame. Billionaire Island, a tax-free, unregulated hideaway of the richest people on Earth, is no more. 2 years after its fall, the global economy lies in ruins, and the President of the United States must resign in disgrace. Mark Russell is great with like social political commentary and making satire based on it. So I want to check the series out. That sounds awesome. Just because I trust Mark Russell's handling of it. But that'll be $13.49. And it's by Ahoy Comics. Then up next we have Sword of Azrael trade paperback for $11.99. Done by DC Comics. The writer is Dan Waters. The artwork is by Nicola Sismezija. I really messed that name up. I apologize. But this includes Sword of Azrael, Dark Night of the Soul #1, and Sword of Azrael 1 through 6. And this is a trade paperback. Then, scrolling down, we have Deathstroke Inc., Volume 1, King of the Supervillains trade paperback, written by Joshua Williamson, artwork by Howard Porter, $11.99, and includes Deathstroke Inc. 1 through 7 and Batman Urban Legends #6. DC vs. Vampires All Out War Part 1 hardcover. So we had DC vs. Vampires hardcover Volume 1, but this is the All Out War. I don't know if it's a spinoff or continuation or what, how you would describe that. But it includes DC vs. Vampires All Out War 1 through 3 and DC vs. Vampires Hunters. That's like an Elseworlds tale that's been it's really popular. I hear people really enjoy the series. If you're into the mashing of horror with the DC Comics characters. My page isn't loading. Sorry about that. My internet seems to be on the fritz for a second. Let me see what I can do here. If you're in chat, let me know what comics you've been reading, what comics you're excited are coming out soon. If you've seen any cool movies lately, let me know. All right, so it's the reload the page, scroll all the way down to where I was. Nope. Okay, there I am. All Against All trade paperback. This is by Image Comics. The writer is Alex Paknadel, and the artist is Caspar Wingard. And it doesn't say Volume 1, so this must be the whole series. It's All Against All 1 through 5. Then we have Crashing trade paperback. This is by IDW Publishing. Matthew Klein and Morgan Beam are the creative team. It's described as House, the TV show, meets Gotham Central in this powered-up medical drama featuring a prized physician caught amid recovery from addiction and polarizing campaign aimed to strip superpowered humans of healthcare rights. That sounds like it has a lot of layers to it. I want to read that. That'll be $11.89 if you order through CGN. We have a graphic novel called Gore from Black Panel Press. The writer is Verity Holloway, and the artwork is by Ivo de Jaeger. That'll be $11.24, and it's a graphic novel, so it includes the whole story. There's a very striking cover there. Unforgiven trade paperback. This is from Marvel Comics. Tim Seeley, Mark Russell are in writing. Sid Koshin and Dave Wachter are the artists. 1079, and it includes all the Unforgiven series: Spider-Man, X-Men, Captain America, and Blade, Vampire Nation. So it's kind of like the DC versus vampires, but Marvel versus vampires. Interesting. Thor by Donny Cates, Volume 5, The Legacy of Thanos. I think this might be the last volume of his run. Yes, issue 30. So, and I believe that, not Ryan Stegman, who was it? Ryan Otley. I think it finished the last couple issues writing. Yeah, so this concludes the Donny Cates run on Thor, collecting issues 27 through 30 and Thanos Death Notes. But that'll be volume 5. So the first 5 volumes of Donny Cates' Thor run. Star Wars Hidden Empire trade paperback. Charles Soule is the writer, and Stephen Cummings is the artist. This collects Bounty Hunters, Star Wars Bounty Hunters, Star Wars Crimson Reign. Oh, it concludes here. Sorry, it includes Star Wars Hidden Empire 1 through 5. But it's about the Bounty Hunter, War of the Bounty Hunters story. Then we have Batman One Bad Day Penguin hardcover. So if you collected the box set that came out last week, there was a interesting box set that was only included 2 of the hardcovers, included Killing Joke and Batman One More Day with Two-Face, or was it I can't remember. Riddler? It included one other volume, though. It included Killing Joke in one other volume, and then you're supposed to collect the hardcovers to fill it out individually, and this is one of those. This will be 1079. Written by John Ridley, and Giuseppe Camicoli is the artist. So if you're into that. Batman One Bad Day, Two-Face. So it wasn't Two-Face. It was, I think it was the Riddler. Was the other one. This one is done by Mariko Tamaki, is the writer, and the artwork is by Javier Fernandez. So each villain is getting like a One Bad Day, done with like the same premise as Killing Joke. Then we have Wasps, Small Worlds. This is written by Al Ewing, and the artwork is by Nee Cassia and Jack Kirby. I'm assuming they include an old issue in here. But this will be $9.59. It's a trade paperback. Yes, it includes material from Tales to Astonish 44, which is where the Jack Kirby art comes in. And then we have Clark and Lex trade paperback. It's one of the young adult graphic novels from DC Comics. The writer is Brendan Reichs, and the artwork is by Jerry Gaylord. That'll be $7.79. And includes the entire series there, or entire graphic novel there. And we have Plants vs. Zombies, Infestation, hardcover, $7.69 for this one. Paul Tobin is the writer. The artwork is by Kat Ferris. It includes the Plants vs. Zombies Volume 13, Snow Thanks, The Ghoul Next Door. And that'll be one of those standard size, thinner hardcovers. I know that they've been releasing these in their own omnibuses. I know my son has the Volume 1, and he wants Volume 2. I think he read the Volume 2 digitally. But this is one of those. So and these are all, I think, as long as you get in on the beginning of a series, you can read these. I think they're all pretty new reader friendly, as long as you get to the beginning of it. 'Cause some of these volumes are like collected whole miniseries.
They're very hard to read or find out what the next issue is.
Yeah, that's my producer and son over here is chiming in with. It is hard to, because they're not numbered very well. Like you can see right here, like Plants vs. Zombies Infestation hardcover doesn't have a number to it. It doesn't say like Volume 17. And then each miniseries is renumbered. So that's why I've been liking those omnibuses, because they have been putting them in order. Trojan trade paperback by Artists, Writers, and Artisans Inc. Daniel Kraus is the writer, and Lacey is the artist. It just says Lacey. I guess she's like Madonna. She only has one name. Once Upon a Time, we lived. Oh, this is by AWA. Oh, that's what. Okay. AWA Publishing. Once upon a time, we lived alongside legends, creatures of myth, centaurs, fauns, gorgons, kelpies. They were spectacular, majestic, powerful, peaceful. Okay, it's just a bunch of words here. After driving these legends to the fringes of society, an uglier form of mythos takes shape in the form of rumors of live snuff shows for the dark web high rollers. All right, so it's a lot going on there. It looks like it includes a lot of monsters and stuff in it. It'll be $7.49. And our last book for the day will be Ghost Spider Marvelverse by Jason Latour and artwork by Robbie Rodriguez. These Marvelverse books are like introduction books. If you took a kid to see the new Spider-Verse movie and they're like, oh, I want to know more about Spider-Gwen. You hand them this book. It includes kind of like what you need to know to get the character. It includes Edge of Spider-Verse number 2, Spider-Gwen number 5, and Spider-Gwen 1 through 2 and 13 from those two different series in 2015. And they're like digest size, so they're perfect for kids. That'll be $5.99. And then I'll stop sharing my screen. Oh, here we go. We got someone chiming in. What they've read. Finished reading Blazing Combat yesterday. Okay, I remember you bought that book last week, or had it. It came into you last week. Really good read and a lot of great art in it. Currently rereading all of Blueberry. Years since I read it last. Still a fantastic read. Yes, I remember we talked about Blueberry last week as well, and I'm super jealous. One day I'll get to read Blueberry, and I'll join you on that journey. But in Blazing Combat, I still need to pick that up as well. Thank you guys for joining me. Be sure to give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. Share with your friends, your comic book loving friends, what we're doing over here at CGN. That we have a weekly show, a weekly newsletter. Make sure to follow us on social media. Make sure to let them know that this is the best way to buy your books and your comics and graphic novels, all that jazz. Follow us on social media. Subscribe to the newsletter. We will have a newsletter coming out later this week that will showcase the July catalog. And we'll have another live show sometime in the next few days for the July catalog, where I'll go over that. So thank you for joining me. My name is Taylor of Taylor Talks Comics. I appreciate you guys being here, and we'll see you guys later.